The Olney Farmers Market is more than a great place to get your local fresh fruits and veggies. Find out what's going on these days in my hometown next on Connecting Our Community, coming up. Hi everybody, I'm Karen Allen. Welcome to Connecting Our Community. I am so excited because today we're going to talk about one of my favorite stops in my hometown, the Olney Farmers Market. It's not as old as you'd think, but it's come far in very few years. I'm going to be talking to Kathy Kidd, one of the most dedicated and active volunteers we have in Olney. Now, Kathy, thank you so much. I don't know how I haven't seen you since I've been to the Olney Farmers Market many times, but I know you're there.
Must have passed along the way.
I know, all the time. The only thing I know about the Olney Market, Farmers Market for sure is that I remember when it started in 2007. So it really hasn't been that many years, but it has grown from just a few to like huge. I mean, it's huge.
It is.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
On that. Tell me about how we, as if I'm part of it. I just go to it, but you guys do all the work. How did this get started to begin with?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Janet Terry is the brain behind the Olney Farmers Market, and she got the idea in, I want to say, July of 2007. And by August of 2007, we had an Olney Farmers Market. So she gets it done really quickly.
Everything. I know her because she's a colleague at Channel 9, and she's a wonderful lady. And she rocks it with getting volunteers, getting kids over there, getting it set up. How many vendors are there now?
Over 70 vendors now, including we've got the artists, we've got the farmers, we've got the food vendors. So we've got over 70, and every year it gets bigger.
It really does. It gets bigger. Now, I know that it starts in, I want to say May?
It goes May through November, and then there's always a holiday market in early December. And then last year, we started the winter market, and that goes from January to March. So it's almost all year round.
Yeah, we're going to talk about those later. I first want to talk about what we have going at the regular farmers market. Okay, because I know we divided it between farmers, you said, and artists, right. When it comes to farmers, I have seen people there from all regions of Maryland, correct?
We've got quite a representation of farmers, and most of the farmers have actually been with us since the start of the market. So these are really dedicated folks that have been since 2007. And many of them come from quite far away. Montrose, Virginia, I believe it is, about 3 hours away. So these are very dedicated people that come every weekend to bring their fresh vegetables and share them with us. So
and there's lots of them.
There's quite a few. And every year we get, we try to keep the concentration because we've got such a great group of farmers, but every once in a while we'll add a new farmer in if there's a specialty.
The thing is, these people sell their stuff. So there's a lot of people who from Olney and surrounding areas these days who actually come and buy their stuff because there wouldn't be so many coming from so far if they actually
get quite a
sell.
turnout.
Yeah, farmers markets are very, very popular. And trendy, but in a good way.
In a very good way.
Right, because organic stuff is also very popular, and people want to eat healthier. So I think that people are really coming to purchase farmers' vegetables and fruits.
Absolutely.
Also, artisan-wise, I've seen many different artisans there for all ranges, all kinds of things. Really interesting. Like you have, you know, from like designer chocolates, you know, to jewelry and trinkets and
paintings,
different quality.
We have quite a range. We have birdhouses, we have paintings, we have glass jewelry, and I'm sure many more, you know, that's just to name a few. So it's quite a range. And we now this year also have the craft fair. So we have the artist market, which is the juried artists, and we have the craft fair, which is what started at Sandy Spring last year. They've also been a part of the farmers market this year as well. So there's the juried artisan section and a separate craft artist section as well.
And are you responsible for choosing these artists yourself?
The farmers market committee. So we have quite a few volunteers that are part of the farmers market community, and they all are participating in choosing the artists and jurying the artists and deciding who gets to be a part of the farmers market.
What is the process there? I mean, can anybody who just makes some stuff in their basement submit their stuff and
they can absolutely apply. Absolutely, they can apply, and then once we receive their application, we review their application. We would then have them bring sample products to the farmers market to review. You know, we're looking for a certain level of craftsmanship, really it being made from almost from scratch, so to speak.
Like really homemade, so
really,
it's really crafty.
Really crafty, and it goes, you know, through a whole vetting process. And we're very careful about who we choose to add into the market to sort of maintain the mix of offerings that we have.
This is a whole serious deal.
Absolutely,
and
absolutely.
You're part of that, the committee
I'm
that decides.
a small part of a much larger group of volunteers. My husband and I just started volunteering this last year. There's a large group of people who have been volunteering since it started, and it's a really dedicated group of people that have put a lot of hours into their life to make the market what it is. So it's a really great group of people.
That's amazing to have so much care put into every
There's a lot
vendor
of care put into the market.
Artisan.
Mm-hmm.
That's really fun.
It is.
Okay, that's, yeah. And I've seen a lot of different artists there selling different things.
Mm-hmm.
And do those artists change every weekend? Or
we have sort of a stable set of folks that typically come every week, but then every weekend there'll be some new folks that come, some other folks that, you know, mix and match. So we get new folks every week, and then sort of a base set of folks. And it's all modeled off of the Charleston, South Carolina market. That's where Janet went and fell in love with the way they approach the market, and so the Olney Farmers Market is modeled after that to try and make sure we have a really great mix of farmers. We have wonderful food vendors, so people will come to get breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and then we also have the artists as well. So it's a really great mix of things that you can see.
Now there's also a musician each
Absolutely.
week.
Each week we have a musician.
For free.
For free.
Just
Just
whole
come, listen to the
free.
music. Absolutely. We have musicians, and we have a chef's demo every week. And that's also a really great experience for people.
The whole chef's demo is a whole section I want to talk about separately, but because I have a lot to say about the chef's demo. To me, that is the biggest draw of the market.
It's so much fun.
It's
it is.
unbelievable
It's so much fun.
the names you get. But the music, how do you get these bands? And
who
are they?
We have a wonderful young man, Luke, and he's in charge of all of that. So he takes care of finding the music vendors. Just in the last couple of weeks, we had a really great local high school band. We had a Hawaiian music person. So we get a whole range of people, and Luke does a great job of finding a mix of music.
They're definitely always different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, rain or shine, people are out there.
Absolutely. A couple of weeks ago, it was a lot of rain, and everyone was still out there.
People are out there. Now we can talk about, literally, I crave and wait to see on the newsletter who's coming.
Who's the next chef, right?
Because that is absolutely the biggest draw for me. I know that you have had names that I don't recognize, names that I do recognize, but each week it's somebody who either is well known for their restaurateurship, for the entrepreneurship, for their food truckmanship, or whatever it is, whether I know them or not, but it is something I want to learn from. They've either have a book out, or they're on a TV show, or whatever. So I want to mention at least two that I knew and know and have seen here and there a few times. One is Carla Hall.
Absolutely.
I know she's
one
been
of our
there more than
all-time
once.
favorites, yes.
Oh, she is so
She's
full
there
of personality.
every year. She has been absolutely wonderful about committing to coming at least once every year to the farmers market.
She is a hoot.
She's so much fun.
She's hilariously funny. Everyone loves her. She's completely approachable. She has
her food is fabulous.
Her husband is in the audience, so she just relies on him and just jokes about him. Her food's amazing. Everyone can get a taste. Lines up afterwards. She brings her assistants, so they actually, she can teach and talk, and she gives great tips. Everyone knows that she's the co-host of a show called The Chew that's on weekdays, and she also has a book out, Cooking with Love, which I have not gotten my copy yet, but she's delightful to talk to, and I learned so much from her. And if you can go to one of those, free demonstrations and actually learn and laugh, what more could you ask for?
It's wonderful. It really is. I look forward to it every weekend. And just to name a few other chefs, we have Amy Riolo.
Oh, there's another one. She's been a guest on my show several times. She's written many books. She is a teacher, a lecturer. She's worldwide now. She's she's on Facebook. Her latest book, Egyptian Cuisine and Culture, is humongously. Well, I want to say it's easy, but for me, nothing's easy in the kitchen. But it's fairly easy to do.
Very approachable.
Yes. And she's another one who's easy to talk to and entertaining and fun and funny. And she's all over anything visual on Facebook, she's there. She's got tons of videos. She's just wonderful. So you're getting great names.
Absolutely,
Mention some more.
amazing names. So just to name a few, let's think Matt Baker from Occidental Grill, who was wonderful. Mark
Grill.
Salter, former White House chef, also in at Perry Cabin.
Missed that one, yeah.
Let's see, John Melfi from Blue Duck Tavern.
Wow.
So we do, every weekend, it is an amazing chef, a local chef out of Brookville, Debbie Amster, does amazing things with local herbs and products.
She is an amazing chef.
She's really
holistic,
great.
and she's been a guest on my show,
has
too.
she? Oh, she's wonderful.
Brilliant. And she's so much to learn from that kind of teaching.
Absolutely.
And her cleanses. We should take a break because we'll come back and talk to Kathy Kidd, but we must take a short break. I know you hate to leave us, but just don't go. Put your coffee mug just like this or your chai tea and come right back. We'll be back in a minute.
Diet and exercise are never easy. Then again, neither is dying. Type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke kill nearly 1 million people a year. You can stop it starting right now. It's your life. Listen to your doctor. Eat better, get moving.
You're a Boy Scout, you can do anything, right?
We had to sink the canoe in the middle of a big lake and swim it back.
I go out in the woods and take some sticks and try to build a house. And the one night that we picked to go out and try to sleep in our houses, it rained.
Fishing, surfing,
hiking.
Last hike I went on was a 50-miler.
Karate, wilderness survival,
mountain biking.
These are things that you get the chance to do in scouting.
Be a scout!
Adventures to remember, words to live by. Join the Scouts.
Making the world a better place is an intricate puzzle. And piece by piece, the women and men of Rotary have worked hard to fight hunger, promote literacy, and move the world toward peace. But there is still much to be done, still some missing pieces. And one of those missing pieces is you. Learn how you can help Rotary put together a better world at Rotary.org. Rotary, humanity in motion.
I knew I needed help paying for college. I've always wanted to be a teacher. I used to make worksheets for my friends to do. No one ever wanted to come over. My guidance counselor told me about federal student aid, and my mom helped me fill out the free application. I got the grants and loans that made school possible. There is a way to pay for school. You just have to find it. My name is Caitlin. I'm going to be a special education teacher. I'm going to live my dream.
We're back talking to Kathy Kidd of the Olney Farmers Market, one of my favorite places. I'm slightly biased living in Olney as I do, but this is a great market. I gotta just say, it's fun and it's on Sundays. I might as well say what I got wrong before. It's Sundays, 9 to 1, open from May to November. There is a winter market. We're gonna talk about that now, winter market, and there's also a holiday market. So Kathy, who is a star volunteer, I might say. Not only that, she's on all these committees where they decide who actually is vetted to be a vendor at the market. So we don't want to upset Kathy in any way in case we have something up our sleeve for later. Anyway, we don't. We're not that talented. Kathy, tell me about the winter market and the holiday market, because holiday market would be a December-ish type thing every December. Okay, so what is it? Just holiday stuff that comes, or is it just one day?
It's a one-day market in early December, and it's a lot of fun. So it'll have about 60 to 70 vendors. The focus will be holiday. We'll have our food vendors will all be making a traditional holiday dish for wherever they're from.
Oh, that's so cool.
We typically have Santa. We have some farm animals. We have a big fire, log fire, and it's a lot of fun, and it's really a great, since the market runs May to November, it's really a great last sort of chance for the community to get together before the holidays.
Right.
So purchase your holiday gifts from the farmers market. It's a lot of fun.
Food,
artwork. There will be farmers there. They might have like some sweet potatoes, root vegetables,
eggnog,
sort of stuff.
Maybe.
Hopefully that'd be great. Yeah, that's a good suggestion. Yeah.
Put that on your list.
I'll put that on the list.
Okay,
absolutely.
So that's the holiday market, and it's usually just one day.
It's one Sunday
in December.
In early December.
Before the holiday, okay. And then there's a winter market, which is something newish.
It's new. We started it just last year, and it's in combination with Sandy Spring Museum in Sandy Spring, and it runs January through March. And so it is an indoor version of the farmers market.
Yeah, it's
we'll
way too
have
cold to be
farmers, we'll
outside.
have artists, we'll have the craft vendors there, and it's also a really great way to see the Sandy Spring Museum as well, since it's right inside the museum.
Oh,
so
it's a beautiful museum.
It's really a great way to continue the market through the winter months.
And not be outside.
And not be outside, yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And then you actually get to meet more people.
You do, really.
'Cause you're
It's really,
enclosed.
exactly, yeah.
And you get to be warm and toasty. So maybe there's some cider going on.
There's cider, there's soup, there's all kinds of good stuff.
Okay, so that's a win. And so that's also every Sunday?
That'll be every Sunday 10 to 2.
10 to 2. So the
Slightly
hours,
different
right.
hours in the winter market. And we also last year started a Be Well section of the farmers market, and so we also have a separate area of the Sandy Spring Museum where we have acupuncturists and massage therapy folks and different Be Well vendors come through as well.
Wow.
All kinds of stuff happening.
Is that holistic kind of stuff?
It's typically
natural?
holistically focused, yeah.
That
and
is
it's
very
been it's
cool.
been very, very popular.
That's wonderful. Well, that's good to know. So there's a lot of branching out going on.
There is.
So I have the idea that you and Janet Terry, the founder, and everybody's open to suggestions. So if you have any ideas, you can.
Oh, please do.
We'll give you the
please
website
share.
at the end of the show coming up here, and that will be a great thing for people to suggest.
Absolutely. We're always
'Cause it
looking
sounds like
for
you're-
new ideas.
And
Absolutely.
you're always adding on. Do you find that, do you have an idea of how many people attend this on a weekly basis? Any clue?
You know, that's a great question. I honestly
don't
don't
think-
know, but I know when we're there, which is typically mostly every Sunday, it is a steady stream of people
I've
coming through. So
seen that myself.
I don't know the exact count, but it's always a steady stream.
And the chef demos are usually around 11-ish,
Usually
right?
around 11-ish, and
And
in
they're
the
packed.
email it'll tell you specifically who's coming and what time it is, and they're usually really popular. And
Extremely.
And they usually use an ingredient that's available at that time, so that makes it nice too.
They absolutely tie it into whatever's in the market at that point, and they're extremely popular.
Absolutely.
People are very serious about their cooking, and they actually are not easy on these chefs. They're like,
they
hey,
ask a lot of tough
what
questions.
About
They do.
they're brutal. Yeah, they really want to. They take it very seriously. Yeah, the public is not easy, that's for sure. But I found the chef's demonstrations to be extremely, as I mentioned earlier, extremely interesting and very helpful. I mean, I think whether you cook or not,
they're just interesting. You learn
they're
so much from it.
delightful. And the personalities of the chefs really come through, and then you really see how passionate they are about whatever it is they do, whatever restaurant they have, whatever book, whatever thing. It's amazing to see how passionate people are about
It really is.
about
It's really
their
exciting.
chosen career. That's so true. All right, I want to tell people that that you need volunteers too.
Absolutely. We would love this. As I mentioned earlier, there's a core group of volunteers that started long before Bob and I joined in recently. And these folks do everything, end to end.
What do you need help with doing?
We need help any way that someone wants to volunteer, whether it's to help with marketing or to help with every Sunday, before you come to the market, we're there at 7 o'clock in the morning setting up, and we're there at 1:30 tearing down. So, the physical setup of the market, marketing ideas. Every year we have these wonderful farm-to-table dinners, and that's the main fundraiser for the market.
Is that right?
And,
Yeah.
volunteering around helping with those dinners. And those dinners, the fundraising, we also support. We have some connections with Manna Foods. Our house is a local vendor, so the money not only helps to support the market, it helps to support these other things that we support within the community. So lots of volunteer opportunities. We would greatly appreciate additional volunteers.
And there's also all ages can volunteer.
Absolutely.
Especially SSL hours are offered.
We have kids come every week, and
Yeah.
they get their SSL hours. I should also mention we have a wonderful kids tent every weekend,
Right.
where the kids can come and do kids activities and face painting and just all kinds of fun stuff. So something for everyone.
And older kids can actually operate that vendor
and
area.
volunteer in that area.
Right, and my kids have done
Absolutely.
that, and they can get SSL hours for that. And didn't you mention something about a 501c3?
We did. We just this year got our nonprofit status, and we're very, very excited about it. It's been a very long time coming, and that's going to open us up to even more ways that we can help in the community, more grants that we might be able to apply for, and lots of new programs that we want to try out to even expand the market even further. So we are very, very excited about getting that.
Yeah. And there's lots of things that volunteers can do. I've noticed myself, not just before the market, but actually, and not just setting up, but during the market, I know.
Oh, absolutely. During the market, we have an information tent that we run where people can ask questions. We also, separate from the market volunteers, we have the wonderful Master Gardeners area where you can come and ask all the questions you have about your garden and what may be going well or not so well. So there's even, all throughout the day, there's lots of, we have people that monitor the parking, and, we always need people.
That's actually a very big job, the parking.
It is, yes,
But there is free parking, we should tell people.
Yep,
there is free parking.
And lots
That's
of
very important to know, yeah. Those of you who can't walk there is definitely a free parking. I wanted to ask you about something else, Kathy. You mentioned the Farm to Table fundraiser. That is a very big deal because a very popular and well-known chef usually heads that. Is that right? Not right?
Usually it's a partnership with one or more popular, very well-known chefs, and they design the menu, and there's also usually a beautiful florist aspect of it, the whole design of the Farm to Table, and it can be, we've had it in a variety of settings, so we've had it at various farms, our vendors, and we've also had it in private homes, so we've done a mix of things, and people always seem to really enjoy it.
And how does that work? I think people pay a certain amount for a ticket?
You basically purchase a ticket, and we've got it on the website right now for the current ones that are being offered. We just had actually a few in the last month, and we've got more coming up. So just go to the website, and it'll describe what chef will be there, and some of them are smaller, maybe 12 to 15 people. Some of them are larger, maybe 60 people. So we try to offer a range so that someone would find something they would enjoy.
And it's a chance to meet fellow community members, for one thing, that you may or may not have already known. It's a way to meet, to taste some phenomenal entrees, right?
And talk directly to the person that just cooked it, right?
Yeah.
To meet some amazing chefs and get to have more of a one-on-one conversation with them. So it really is, it's just an amazing experience. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it's usually held, as you mentioned, at whatever location everybody gets together. And then you can also interview each other and the chef, as you mentioned, and you don't know what you're going to necessarily be served, right?
Right. Yeah,
but
that's a bit of a surprise when you come in, but it's always amazing. So.
And those are always, it's usually very, very healthy food.
Absolutely,
but delicious.
it's all farm focused, right?
I know, isn't that
organic, cool? Locally grown. That's what we try to focus on.
What if we all cooked like that every single day?
I wish I could.
I wish I could. Yeah, most of us would wish that we just cook every day.
Yeah, I was going to say that would be pretty good too.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. But I think that's also a really cool way to raise money. And if
it is our primary fundraiser.
Yeah, and you're looking to raise more money if you can and get volunteers, which is why we definitely want to remind people about the website, which we'll remind again before the end of the show, onlyfarmersmarket.org, because you need everything, but you'll take volunteers, donations, whatever, and it's on the screen right now, so there you have it, onlyfarmersmarket.org. Of course, you can always ask for Kathy Kidd personally. She'll explain everything. And again, the hours are 9 to 1, from May to November at least, and you can find, as you said, all the information.
Everything you
would need. For one thing,
need.
I know that you can sign up for a newsletter. And that newsletter you can get every week, and that weekly newsletter tells you what's coming up for that week and who the chef is and what the music is usually, who the star vendors are and things like that. I find that to be very helpful because the first thing I look for on the newsletter is who's the chef.
Who's the chef? I think that's what a lot of people look for.
And then I see if I can possibly make it by that time. You're like, oh, please let me just run. And I can walk there, so I'm like, gotta see if I can get there. And then the weather, of course, but. Yeah, so I must say that when Carla Hall came, I went bananas, and I dragged our producer of this show, Marion, and her husband Larry out there with cameras to see what we could do.
Oh, that's great!
Yeah. So we're running it during the show. You'll see footage here and there of that because we had such a great time watching her and her learning from her personality, and learning how to. Well, Marion is a great cook already, but. Little old me here was like trying to see what she was doing, and you're right. She does definitely does seasonal things like that. And I know
it's
all
always
the
very
chefs.
timely.
if you ever get a chance to see Sheila Kaufman, who's been a guest many times on my show and who's a cookbook writer, author, mentor to many, such as Amy Riolo, she's not as famous as some of the others, but she's well known in the local community and a fabulous chef and an amazing teacher and cook. And she's comes out here with everyone else, but she never comes on her own. But I've seen her on her own in other areas. She's also talks about chocolate, and she was out there too. I'm sure she's in the video as well. And just some of these people that have taught others and spread the word, we are the benefits. Beneficiary,
Definitely.
I should say.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, all right, Kathy, I hope you have more volunteers. How many think you have now in volunteer-wise? And how many think you need?
I'd say we probably have about 20 volunteers pretty consistently, and then we've got the students that come in and out. But we are certainly always looking for more help. And I should also mention one more thing. The website is also how you could apply as a vendor as well.
Oh,
so
great.
Jewelry or artisan or farmer, that's where the application is on the website as well.
And it's up on the screen, onlyfarmersmarket.org. Great. Kathy, thank you so much.
Oh, this was fun. Thank you
I'm
for
biased
inviting
on this
me.
one. And Janet Terry, thank you for creating
Thank you, Janet.
Great, great job. Okay, mymcmedia.org is our website, of course. And don't forget to email us at Connecting Our Community, where we have that blog right there on mymcmedia.org. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for watching us. And I'm Karen Allen. See you next time.